November 17, 2025, St. Clair Shores City Council meeting to order. Abby, please call the roll.
Mayor Walby,
Here.
Councilmember Burgess,
Here.
Councilmember Karen,
Here.
Councilmember Frederick,
Present.
Councilmember Rubello,
Present.
Councilmember Rusi,
Here.
and Councilmember Vitale.
Here.
A quorum is present.
Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 2 is the organizational meeting, which is always exciting. So it will be the oath of office. And I know we have Judge Mark here who's going to do them for all three of our council members. And I think we're going to just do it in alphabetical order as we have done in the past. So Judge, thanks for coming. And I know that I like the robe touch. I think someone made you go back to that thing. There you go. So right in the center. And then we'll have the mic. Councilman, if you don't mind, we'll have the mic so we can all hear it.
Left hand. Right hand.
I state your name.
I, John Karen,
First duly sworn,
being first duly sworn,
depose and say
that
I will support the Constitution of the United States.
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
The Constitution of the State of Michigan.
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
The Charter and ordinances of the City of St. Clair Shores.
and the Charter and ordinances of the City of St. Clair Shores.
And I will endeavor to secure and maintain
I will endeavor to secure and maintain
an honest and efficient administration
an honest and efficient administration
of the affairs of the City of St. Clair
of
Shores,
the affairs of the City of St. Clair Shores,
free from partisan control.
free from partisan control.
And that I will fulfill the responsibilities of
I will fulfill the responsibilities of
council member of the City of St. Clair Shores.
council member of the City of St. Clair Shores
To the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
John, what number is this? How many elections? You should have
Fourth
this
election.
all memorized by now.
Exactly.
Congratulations. Good.
Thanks, Judge.
Great job. Mr. Rubello, would you like to come on down? We're entering the Italian portion of the swearing in. So we'll do that. I state your name.
I, David Rubello,
Being first duly sworn,
first being duly sworn
depose and say,
to depose and say,
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and the charters and ordinances
and the charters and the ordinances
of the City of St. Clair Shores.
of the City of St. Clair Shores.
And I will endeavor to secure
And I will endeavor to secure
and maintain an honest and efficient administration
and to maintain an honest and efficient administration
of the affairs of the City of St. Clair Shores,
of the affairs of the City of St. Clair Shores,
free from partisan control,
free from partisan control,
and that I will fulfill the responsibilities of
and I will fulfill the responsibilities of
council member of the City of St. Clair Shores
council member of the City of St. Clair Shores
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability. Thank you, Judge.
Both of them, David. Thank you.
All right, and last but certainly not least,
How many is this for him?
David, what number was this?
Three and a half.
She gets both of them. Gets both of them.
All right, you ready? I state your name.
I, Candace Barbara Rusi,
Being first duly sworn,
being first duly sworn,
depose and say
depose and say
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and the charters and ordinances of the City of St. Clair
and the
Shores.
Charter and ordinances of the City of St. Clair Shores.
And I will endeavor to secure
And I will endeavor to secure
and maintain an honest
and maintain an honest
and efficient administration
and efficient administration
of the affairs of the City of St. Clair Shores,
of the affairs of the City of St. Clair Shores,
free from partisan control,
free from partisan control,
and that I will fulfill the responsibilities of
and I will fulfill the responsibilities of
council member of the City of St. Clair Shores
council member of the City of St. Clair Shores
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability. Thank you so much.
It's not easy.
Now we're on 4 or 5 terms.
5.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Take that, Candace, to George. Item 2B is the selection of Mayor Pro Tem,
I nominate
Ms. Burgess.
Ron Frederick.
Support.
Burgess has made a motion to select Councilman Frederick to be Mayor Pro Tem. That is supported by Councilman Rebello. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 7-0. Congratulations, Ron. Councilman, will you pass that down? Thank you. Boy, he didn't look like he wanted to give it up.
It was getting fun for a while.
Did a good job, Dave. Way to go.
It's good to give the hammer to that side.
Again, I appreciate Councilman Rebello and his efforts to step in, because there's a number of times where you can't be in one place, or truthfully, sometimes on vacation. So I appreciate his efforts in there, and I know that Councilman Frederick will do a good job now, Mayor Pro Tem Frederick. So everyone up here has always done a good job. So I really do always appreciate that.
It's a great honor, humbling. Thank you.
And I'd also just want to, congratulate Mr. Karen, Ms. Rusi, and Mr. Rebello. Continue that we will, move St. Clair Shores forward. I think we have been doing that for many, many years here. I do believe we've created a good team in St. Clair Shores. I always appreciate the respectfulness that this body shows up here, not just at these meetings, because there can be times when it gets a little bit heated in that, but I do appreciate that we maintain that respectful nature here and elsewhere. So I appreciate that. We work together, and again, we don't always agree on how to get things done, but at the end of the day, I think these 7 people up here, have the common good of St. Clair Shores for the residents of this community and moving it forward. So there's more common in us than what divides us. So again, I appreciate that, and I look forward to the next couple of years of, again, moving St. Clair Shores forward. And to the people that lost, it's tough. They put effort, they put time, they put money into it. They put themselves out there to be criticized. It's tough. I think public life has become much tougher than when I started years ago here with social media, and so it's tough. So I appreciate their willingness to participate and try to be part of this community. I mean, they're already part of the community, but be part of the governing body. So again, hopefully maybe next time, but thank you for putting yourself out there. It is tough. And then finally, we had a millage too that passed. I want to thank the City of St. Clair Shores and the residents for passing the millage. We've come numerous times over decades to ask for millages, and this community has always been supportive of that. It's tough. Life is expensive here, and so I appreciate that when they step forward and make it. Not only was a renewal, it was an increase. So I appreciate the generosity. It goes to police and fire department. We don't need to get all the numbers, but without that millage, we don't have what we have today in front of us here. We do not have the great police, the great fire departments, and we all know that we have truly great departments here in this community. So again, thank you so much for stepping forward and putting money out of your pocketbook to help keep this community a great community that is. So I appreciate that. With that, we will move to proclamations and presentations. 3A is the Clair Kiwanis check presentation. I know Henry Bowman has got a team up here, but I think he's going to kick it off. So let's have all the Kiwanis come on up. Evening,
Okay,
Henry. How are you?
good evening, Mayor and Council. It's my pleasure to introduce to our members of the Loch St. Clair Kiwanis Club. We have Councilman Dave Rebello, Councilman Ron Frederick, Mayor Pro Tem Councilman Ron Frederick, Brian Mazie, Brian Milstead, Ken Pat, Tim from Tim's Bike Shop, and then Rick Burgess also, and Candace Rusi, I think you are a member too.
Yes, I am.
Yep. So thank you, everybody. It was a true group effort. We did Bike Fest for the first time in quite a few years. We had a really nice job. Brian Mazie worked very hard on getting signed sponsors, and we're able to present a check today to the Cops for Kids of $2,000 for our Bike Fest. So, very good.
Move over there, that thing is in your way,
She knows. Thank you very much for that, Tim. Yeah, tell us about it, Tim.
So we started this in 2018. We had to take a little bit of a break because of COVID. We're bringing it back, and hopefully we're going to bring it back bigger and better as the years go on. And another thing that I would like to do, where did he go? Brian, get back over here, please. So Brian did a lot of work. He got all the sponsors. He got all sponsorship. He worked. The whole group worked together. I mean, it was a group effort. He got all the food donated. He did a lot of work. So in recognition of that, I had a appreciation plaque made for Brian. It's with great appreciation and gratitude that Tim's Bike Shop, the Loch St. Clair Kiwanis, and all the participants recognize Brian Mazie for his outstanding leadership and hard work making the Bike Fest a successful event, raising money for the St. Clair Shores Cops for Kids. His work is enormous. He helped me get this going back in 2016, and hope he helped me keep it going for years to go. And it's a good thing. And
For sure, it's well deserved. You had this, when did you, hey,
And
Henry?
thanks, Tim. Also, I want to make one quick announcement.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, we do have a social, and we'll be accepting gifts at a Watermark at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. So anybody can make it on up. Come on up, meet us up there. Christmas gifts, yes. So, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, and you got next year's planned, right? We're having,
Yes,
we're having,
working
a-
on next year's.
excellent. Again, thank you for what you're doing for the donation to Cops for Kids, a great organization, so we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 3B is the Assumption Cultural Senior Health Fair presentation. Joan, come on up. I think you got a team there and everything else, so come on up in the center and. Let's slide right over here. You get it right next to Doctor there, and anyone else? Got a big team here. I'll read the proclamation.
Bill?
Bill, you gotta come up here, Bill. No? Bill's not coming. He said no.
Really, don't say no.
So I'll read the proclamation, and then Joan will give you the mic, and then you can introduce everybody and tell us a little bit about it, okay? About the organization, everything.
Thank you so much. Such an honor.
proclamation honoring the 30th Annual Health and Wellness Senior Expo. Whereas the City of St. Clair Shores is committed to fostering vibrant, healthy communities where residents of all ages thrive through education, activity, and connection. The Assumption Cultural Center has, for 3 decades, exemplified selfless dedication by hosting the annual Health and Wellness Senior Expo, a beacon of empowerment for our senior citizens since its inception in 1995. Whereas this landmark 30th Expo, held on October 16, 2025, united health care providers, fitness experts, and community leaders to deliver vital resources on nutrition, preventive care, mental well-being, and lifelong learning, reaching thousands of participants and inspiring healthier lifestyles. The Expo's enduring legacy reflects the Greek cultural ethos of Felixme, what is this one?
Philoxenia.
Oh, Philoxenia.
Philoxenia, okay, there we go. Thank you. So, hospitality and care for others while celebrating the wisdom, resilience, and contributions of our elders who enrich St. Clair Shores with their stories and spirit. Such initiatives strengthen family bonds, reduce isolation, and promote equity in access to wellness services, aligning with our city's vision of inclusive, active future. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor and Council of the City of St. Clair Shores do hereby proclaim the 30th Annual Health and Wellness Senior Expo a resounding success and extend our deepest gratitude to the Assumption Cultural Center, its volunteers, sponsors, and attendees. May this milestone event continue to illuminate paths to vitality for generations to come. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
There you go, Joan.
Thank you so much. On behalf of not only Assumption, but this committee, we can't thank you enough for recognizing all the work that goes into this for all these years. We've never had one, so this is a really a wonderful gift to everyone. I do have to say the success belongs to the committee. They work all year long to provide the resource guide and plan all the events every month, and it's a long process, and it shows because the success is wonderful. And I think we had about 700 or 800 this year.
Wow.
So
It's
it's
great
wonderful. So
turnout.
I'm going to let my committee introduce themselves.
Right.
They're all so important, and
Ken Hamilton, chiropractor, Harper Chiropractic Center. Happy to be here. Happy to be a part of it.
Original members.
Fantastic.
Right, from the beginning.
From the beginning.
No, it's on.
Sarah McGee, chiropractor, also at the Harper Chiropractic Center. Very happy to be here.
I'm Kelly Lipinski. I work at American House Lakeshore up the road, so this is very dear to my heart.
Terry Murphy. I work for Hope Senior Home Care and a nonprofit organization, Certified Senior Solutions.
And Terry is our chairman.
Olga Cardesis, Assumption Cultural Center.
And we have
Hold on.
one original member also here, and that's Dave Bello.
I don't
Part of the- with Pat Sikora and Pat Sikora, Bon Sikora, and you, and a few seniors got together and said, "What can we do for these people
Yeah.
living longer?" So
Well, it's a great event. Thank you for that, but also thank you for the Assumption Greek. You guys do great in the community, right? The Greek Fest. Now we're going to on a building program here now, so we
Yes.
appreciate. How's that? How's
that's
that going?
coming along great. We go tomorrow night to Grosse Pointe. So if everything goes, we'll start in February.
Fantastic. So we appreciate all you do in the community. You're just, communities are made by, strong schools, strong businesses, strong churches, strong organizations. So we really appreciate all the effort and work you do. You make St. Clair Shores a better community. So we appreciate it. God
Kip.
bless you for all you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
See you at the gala? See you at the gala?
Make me thinner, please. Thank you. Thank you. What'd you say?
Celebrate 75 years, we'll have to see you guys.
Oh, yeah, sure. Item 3C is exciting here. We've got Martin separation, so we got a little presentation here. We got Commissioner Miller here and Vince Astorino here. Come on up. Big part of the Macomb County Public Works. Good evening, Commissioner Miller.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council and others that are here. I'm certainly delighted to be here tonight. I have to say it's very fortuitous. I think that we happen to be here when the new members, well, they're not new, but the existing members got reelected again and got sworn in. It's really nice to see that. And it was really great, honestly, just listening to the Kiwanians talk about all of the things that they're doing for the kids and the church and everything else. And as you say, it's really about the community. There's so many wonderful things that happen here in St. Clair Shores. And, you know, politics has changed a lot. You mentioned that, so I think I might just mention that as well. I hate to date myself how long I've been involved in politics, but I started in my political career in Harrison Township. Even though I was born and raised in St. Clair Shores, I moved out there and started when I was like 25 years old. And I'm now in my 70s, and I'm still doing this thing. But as you mentioned, politics has changed, and not in a good way in a lot of things. So it is great to see a town like this, St. Clair Shores, and the way that people do handle themselves so respectfully and all do whatever they can for the good of the residents here. And I think that is really a common element amongst all of you. And that's really one of the things we're going to talk about here tonight, because we were asked to come and make a presentation. And I'll tell you, when I left the Congress, I left for a number of reasons. Usually you don't leave Congress, a good congressional seat, unless you they take you out on a gurney or you lose, you know. But I wanted to come back home for a number of reasons. And one of them was that I had a huge interest in trying to stop combined sewer overflows from going out into our magnificent, beautiful Lake St. Clair that has been going on for decades. I mean, all of our lifetimes, this has been going on. And I just thought, you know, we just don't have to live this way. We can do a better job. And certainly the citizens, the residents, throughout Macomb County, I think, when we talk about the blue economy and how important the lake is to us, I mean, you never run into anybody that says, oh my God, don't spend any money on cleaning up the lake. It's the opposite, right? Everybody wants something to happen. But it does require a political will, the commitment, because it's not cheap. It's not cheap. You could be spending money on a lot of other things. But I think we do it just as has been saying here tonight. A lot of this is for the kids. This is for the kids, really. It's great for us, but it's really a generational, transformative kind of a thing that we've all been involved with here. So I wanted to just go over a little bit of some of the different projects that have happened in the time since I've had this particular job that are making a huge impact in our water quality. And we say that, you know, really water quality equals quality of life, because it does equal our quality of life here. It's just so important in so many ways, whether you're out there fishing or swimming or recreating or whatever, walking on your beautiful pier, what have you, here at the Nautical Mile. So we've done a number of things to stop combined sewer overflows, and then you're going to be talking, when I'm done here, I think Denise is going to come up and talk about your sewer separation project, which is great news, and it all sort of feeds into one another. They're very much a synergy here. So, and Vince, I'll just go through this slide, and then Vince will pick up, and he'll flesh out all of these things for you, give you a little bit more detail.
Was that a pun with the flush? That was a good pun.
Yeah, right. Flushing it out. Anyway, so we sort of developed a master plan. I mean, we knew what our goal was. And, you know, the thing is, and my guys, they're so sick of me saying this, but this is a term I use all the time. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? I mean, that's the way we approach this thing, because there was no way that we had enough money or the resources or time or what have you just to come in here and solve all of these problems. And they're not all solved yet, but we, as you're going to see, we have gone way down the field here with this thing. We've done really great work, everybody working together with this. So we first took a look at all of the different operational and process things that we might be able to do somewhat inexpensively and quickly at our Chapaton facility, which is right at 9 Mile and Jefferson down here. And Vince will go through again and tell you some of the various things there. But essentially, when we got through with that, we interpolated that into about, you know, he says 26%. I always round up. But anyway, let's say 25 to 28% reduction in our combined sewer overflows. just with the kinds of things that we were able to do with the operational changes that we made there. Then we did something called our in-system storage. So we utilized existing underground infrastructure. Really tried to do value engineering, I guess you could say, for the infrastructure that we've already paid for, that's already in the ground, and how could we utilize that to store more flow, et cetera, to reduce, again, the combined sewer overflows out into the lake after a heavy rain event. I mean, obviously, that's when these things happen because of the combined system. So that particular project, which is now online, we thought was a reduction of about 11%. Again, you think, oh, well, 11%, it's not that much, but it all adds up. And all of these things are quite expensive, by the way. In fact, our in-system storage was about $9 million, I think, to do. The first one, it was really, we did that on the cheap. So that was very inexpensive, but then it was about a $9 million thing. Then we got to our big canal rehabilitation, which we have very recently completed and put online. And that is almost a $30 million project. It was about a 2-year project. And we, because of the amount of storage and the capacity that we have there, again, we're guesstimating about 50% reduction just from that. So you can start to add these things up and see where we are. And where we are essentially is about 75 to 80% reduction, which is unbelievable, quite frankly. Particularly when you look to our neighbors, one of our other county neighbors, that won't do anything to stop their combined sewer overflows from coming down the Clinton River and into Lake St. Clair. Because they say it's too expensive, it's too time consuming, it's too whatever. But we had been doing this for so many years, so we didn't have clean hands. It's very difficult to be pointing a finger at somebody else when you have the same problem. So we have to take care of our own backyard here, so to speak, first. So anyway, we're very excited with all the various projects that we've done. We have another project that I'm not going to announce tonight, but you'll be hearing about it in the spring, which is going to be a fantastic project that will probably take us up to very close to not having to discharge at all from Chapaton, which would be incredible.
Sure
and of
would.
course, we are always, as well, working with SEMSD. I'm not sure, is that in the PowerPoint? Okay, well, he'll be talking about that some more then. But the Jefferson Pipe project, which is going great. And again, all of these things are very expensive. And I will tell you that we have been very successful in raising money. I'm just going to put it out there. I spent a lot of time talking to our congressional delegation. In fact, I was in the parking lot before I came in here tonight talking to one of our members of Congress about some money and other things. And I'm all the time trying to get additional funds. In fact, in the 9 years that I've been here, we've raised about $180 million, not just obviously for these projects, but other things, sewer rehabilitation projects, et cetera. And, if I've learned anything in all of these years of politics, you want to hunt ducks? Go where the ducks are. Okay. And this is
That's incredible, really. I mean, you just threw $180 million like it was $180. It's $180 million. I mean, seriously, that's incredible, Candace.
If you think about these projects that are completely paid for,
Yes.
they could have been paid by your
Yes.
residents.
Right.
Really? I mean, who's going to pay for this stuff, right? But they're not getting, I'm not to say they're never going to have a water and sewer increase in their bill, but not for any of these projects. They're all 100% paid for. Through not just federal dollars, federal, state, county. In fact, that's how we got what's happening at the Jefferson Pipe. When we had the American Rescue Plan money from Macomb County, which the county got about $169 million, I think, or something. And talking to Mark Hackle, our county executive, and then the county commissioners and others, I was saying, look, you need to give us some of that to our department for capital improvements. And I ended up with $40 million of that, which was a pretty good haul because they spent the rest on the jail, which I'm all about. We had to do that, of course. But of the $40 million, we are a pass-through to give $20 million to the SEMSD. And I'm literally, I feel like your bookie or something.
I don't know if that's a good term, actually, really, to tell you the truth, Commissioner.
That's not actually how it works, either.
Yeah, right. But it's important. It's important because we all want the same thing, right? And you don't want the residents paying for these things. And so it's not just that. You were able to get $5 million from Kevin Hertel, your senator here for the state. John James, your member of Congress, got $2 million earmark. So it all adds up. And you know, it didn't pay for all of it, but you're real close, that's for sure. So with that, let me just turn this over to Vince, and then we'll be open for any questions.
Thank you, Candace. All right, so going into some more details on the actual core projects that we did. The first one that we're looking at here, what you're looking at on the screen is the Chapton Pump Station. My little laser doesn't work on the map, but on the right side is the pump station. You can see the pump going down into the wet well. The kind of blue in the lines going over, that's the 12-foot diameter pipe that runs from St. Clair Shores all the way to East Point. That's kind of the deep storage tunnel that handles the majority of the flow that comes into the pump station. What we found as part of our master plan efforts is that this pipe was not being fully utilized for most events. And part of the reason was there's some sealed manhole covers in the bottom of the pump station where when the wet well fills, it kind of pushes up against those covers. So the old operational protocol was to keep the water level below that. So that way those covers didn't leak and you didn't cause any damage inside the pump station. So what we did was look at, all right, what can we do? Can we replace those covers? Can we get more storage in that pipe if we raise the level up? And that's what we did. This was a $30,000 project. This was replacing all the covers down below, changing the way that we operate at Chapton, and going from 30 feet of storage to 40 feet of storage, which gave us an additional 8.6 million gallons of storage within the system, you know, maximizing our existing infrastructure. The other little blue triangle wedge area, that's the in-system storage project. So it was kind of a two-phase project of maximizing all the storage within that pipe. This project was excavating over at Beaconsfield and Oak, over in East Point, and getting down to the interceptor, and that's what you can see, the picture there. That is the 12-foot diameter tunnel that runs from East Point down to St. Clair Shores. What we did for this, which started in 2022, was we installed a inflatable bladder within that pipe. And what that bladder can do is it can inflate up, seal the pipe off, and store 3.5 million gallons of water upstream of it. This is only done in smaller events, you know, really large events. That bladder goes down, the flow gets through. We're not putting any basements at risk with this project. There's multiple redundancies built in place with it as well. And, you know, this is working out very well for us. Less water that comes to the pump station, less we have to treat. And then, you know, as it's that water stored at the end of the event, when there's room in the system, we'll slowly dewater it and send it down to Detroit for proper treatment. The next big project was the Chapton Canal project. This was a multi-phase approach. What you're looking at on the screen is the old canal. It was about 3 million gallons of storage before that could never really be utilized as storage, just the way that it operated out there. There was a lot of overgrowth in the area. It looked really bad. The sides were starting to erode. On the south side, there was a 1920s drain that went through there that was never properly abandoned. So there was a lot of things that we wanted to do to not only get more storage, but fix up the area as well. So what we did was we raised the sides of the entire perimeter above the 500-year flood elevation to protect against flooding in the future. We lowered the entire canal area by 4 feet. We went out widthwise as well. We also installed the direct flushing pipe. So in the past, we used to have to fill this 3 million gallons to clean out our basin after every single rain event. And what we found is that was costing a little over $200,000 a year to ratepayers that was really not needed. So what we did was we installed a pipe, and now we only take what we need. So we're maximizing and minimizing, you know, the water that we're pulling from the lake to clean our operations. The new outfall structure, the old outfall structure used to be big steel gates that would open from the bottom up. The Chapton Basin, the big parking lot area, it's a 28 million gallon basin. We can fill that in like 30 minutes in a very large wet weather event. This 3 million gallons, you are opening those gates very quickly in those types of events, and you're not maximizing the storage. The new setup, it's a concrete wall, it's rubber bladders and metal plates, and so we're maximizing our storage for every single event. Another big thing we did with this job was we installed a storm sewer going down 9 Mile. There was never a storm sewer there, a dedicated storm sewer to pick up all the rainwater that hits the top of the basin roof there, the big parking lot area, the road, fish bones, and everything in that area. So we separated out about 14 acres across that area, and now have a trash capture device at the end of 9 Mile Road as well to pick up any debris before it goes out to the lake. Construction, like Candace said, started August 2023 and then finished in August of 2025. Another image, drone image of what it looked like before, and then this is an image of what it looks like now. Definitely cleaned up compared to what it was, and quite a bit larger. Some other things that we focused on with this project was we worked really closely with our neighbors in the area. We're very close to homes on either side. We put in a decorative nautical themed wall on the north side. On their side of that wall, we did, in the top left image there, it's stamped concrete. We painted it to match the brick of their homes, replaced all the trees and vegetation on their sides. We put in a wrought iron fence around the perimeter, stamped concrete on top of the sheeting around the entire perimeter. And it really just tried to clean it up and make it look and blend in with everything much better than what it did. The new canal is 17 million gallons of storage capability, which equates out to about a 50% reduction in CSOs. And like Candace said, the cost for this was $29 million. The next, which I'm sure you're all familiar with, is the Jefferson project. So the other three, we're really focusing on Chapton and getting us to our 75% reduction number. This project and the next one you're going to hear about is really focusing on Martin. What can we do to reduce the overflows at Martin? The Jefferson Interceptor, 1.5 mile, 60-inch pipe. It was a huge bottleneck in the past of 2 pipes north of 10.5 Mile, and then 2 pipes south of 9 Mile, and just 1 pipe in between. It's caused a lot of operational issues with the Martin facility, and by having this second pipe there, we're going to be able to reduce CSOs by about 50% at Martin, which is a huge number. This is, I'm not going to go through all the details because I'm sure you're all aware with it. I will mention we are also working on our Bon Here pump station, which is also part of the Martin district. We are implementing some changes, some operational changes there as well that will also slightly reduce volume going to the Martin Basin and will help out during winter events.
The only other thing I would just add with this, just like Vince just talked about Bon Hur. Now, that's just another project, but when we're done with that, that's also going to help us reduce any possible flooding, basement flooding, throughout St. Clair Shores. And all of these projects have been designed with that in mind, that we, I don't know if it's climate change, something's happening to the weather, right? We're getting in very intense rainfalls.
Definitely.
A lot of rain and the intensity is unbelievable. And I mean, I think, as stormwater managers, we have to better position ourselves and our footprint and our posture going forward, again, generationally. So all of these kinds of things are going to help St. Clair Shores residents as well with any kind of future basement floodings as well, which is really critically important, right? Critically important. So.
Okay. We'll have Denise Pike talk a little bit about, this is what really actually started the whole thing here, which was getting the sewer separation project and getting the Clean Water State Revolving Fund, and that has just been phenomenal. And then we kind of wanted to highlight all of the stuff that has been going on here from the Commissioner's office all the way down to us. So kick us off, Denise.
Absolutely, and St. Clair Shores is excited about the somewhat unexpected opportunity to play a role in this transformation of cleaning Lake St. Clair, along with Macomb County. If council remembers, back in 2021, Hennessy Engineers was given the opportunity or awarded a contract to do monitoring of the Martin District. After that, they went into a hydraulic modeling of what would we be able to achieve if we did separation in the Martin District. So 2 weeks ago, I believe, Mr. Lent received an email from the state of Michigan saying that the city of St. Clair Shores, should it choose to accept the opportunity, would be awarded a $23 million revolving loan or loan from the revolving loan fund for the separation of the Martin District. Again, that application was put forth by Hennessy Engineers on our behalf in 2023, but also in 24 and 25. So that's why I said it was slightly unexpected. The separation of the Martin Drainage District will accomplish several things. It will implement a multi-phase sewer separation project to limit flows into the Martin Retention Basin, which Vince just talked about, and subsequently discharges into Lake St. Clair. The impetus behind the grant program and the modeling and the flow studies were to reduce the risk of basement flooding in the Martin District and a reduction in CSO or discharge events leading to improved water quality in Lake St. Clair. The study area of the Martin District was between I-94 and Harper. What Hennessy did is they monitored combined sewer flows during wet weather events and then did modeling for a 10-year, 24-hour rain event. What would it take for us to be able to mitigate that? Here is the history of the project. If you recall, 2021, which was actually when I first got here, council approved the flow metering study in 22. We did the hydraulic modeling, and then in 23 submitted our first application to the revolving loan fund. This is the area that we will be separating. We're looking at, and if council recalls, we start the Alexander project in January with the Alexander water main. First step in the, I want to say on combining, I'm sorry, I can't think of the term, separating the storm and the sanitary along Alexander between Little Mac and Manhattan. We'll also eventually be going out to Lake St. Clair through Sunnydale. So it's a project that we had talked about multiple times and now we'll be able to achieve. The major benefits for the project are we will be able to reduce approximately 8.1 million gallons going into the Martin Retention Basin during a 10-year, 24-hour rain event. We will also be able to, we anticipate, reduce the risk of flooding in basements. We'll be doing road replacements, and we actually meet with Hennessy Engineers this Friday to begin discussing the state's milestones for the project, and we'll be submitting design in next March or April.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is, we're making the presentation, but this is a win for Lake St. Clair. That's at the end of the day, that's where this win is. It's for the environment. It's what we talked about before. We have a fiduciary responsibility to try to leave the place better than we found it. This is what this does. We would end up, I think, doing this maybe 3 phases, and we'd had trouble being able to fund this. We got all this money now, and yes, we're going to have to pay for it, but we get this. We'll say cheap money because we're part of the revolving fund. We're going to get it cheap first, having a bond, which we probably wouldn't have done. So we're going to get it all done now. And so again, I don't know what the right word is, but I want to thank council because we have always had the idea to what? I think they actually gave us 2 weeks to make the decision, and the decision was pretty quick because I think we all knew that it was the right thing to do, and we didn't need 2 weeks. We knew that this was right, and we had been planning to do something. How we can always afford it was the question. So just appreciate it all. It's really good.
Just one other thing. I don't know if we can go back to the slide where you showed all the drains like the Alexander and that. I don't know if you can go backwards on there, but we did, as the council might remember as well, we did a we have a county drain. Alexander is a county drain, which runs essentially from I-94 all the way down, right? Discharges out here. And so, yeah, one other, but anyway, that was a project where we wanted to take a look at the county, the drain, to inspect the drain, just to make sure what is the integrity of the pipe, et cetera, et cetera. And we partnered with the city, so we split the costs, which was about 150 grand. We each spent 50% of that. And we really didn't find anything too serious in there, thank goodness. But the reason that the city really wanted us to do it is because you want to utilize that drain outlet when you do your sewer separation. You got to have somewhere for the water to go, right?
Yep.
So anyway, we just recently completed that, and my guys are still looking at the CCV, all the tape and everything, so they're not quite sure. But initially, their initial impressions is that it's really in pretty good shape, fortunately.
Good news.
Anyway.
Mr. Rubello, did you have your pencil?
Yeah, is it okay?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
just wanted to say a couple things. First of all, thanks for caring. Your heart and soul is into this stuff, and it shows, okay? You guys did a wonderful presentation here. And another thing I wanted to thank you, a few months back, I mean, I think you realize the toll that this takes on the business community down Jefferson Avenue, and I'm glad you're cognizant of that. You even came to, and your staff came to, I don't know, for lack of a better word, one of those Dine with Dave things, just to sort of bring attention to some of the businesses down there that are hurting with the construction. So I want to personally thank you for coming and caring about their plight there. So I wanted to also ask you about the effects of all of what we're talking about here, because a lot of times we hear about basement flooding. So if you can make a comment on the effects of basement flooding and how this would affect that.
Well, as I say, every single project that we've talked about here tonight will accrue positively to making sure that basements don't flood, right? I mean, can't guarantee that a basement's not going to flood. St. Clair Shores is low, and you have these enormous rain events here. But we are trying to do everything that we can with these projects, and quite frankly, others. We're just finishing a complete inspection of all these other drains that you're looking at here in St. Clair Shores, right? Want to talk about that? Not yet? Not yet, okay. We're doing some other drain inspections to make sure that, we don't have any problem with our stormwater outfall. And, but everything that we're doing here, even like the in-system storage, I'll just use that as an example. When Vince said we have like a rubberized weir in there, sort of a bladder that comes up and is able to hold back the flow. But they have this thing, it's very high tech, because when it gets to a certain elevation, if it gets too high, you start flooding basements, which would be the worst thing to be doing, right? So we've obviously engineered all of those kinds of things to make sure that we're very sensitive to that. The Jefferson Pipe is going to be a big win for the northern part of the town here, quite frankly, from basement flooding in that. So
it's great to have someone like your office and you that understands this stuff from, square one. The other thing I wanted to ask you about while you were here was, first of all, when I first saw the canal rehab, it was like, I think I called it the third man-made wonder of St. Clair Shores, because
it's very cool.
It was amazing to look out over something like that. So the one question I wanted to ask you about was our friends to the west, our communities to the west, sending their stuff our way. Is there any type of update? Are they doing anything as far as, fixing their problem, sending our way?
We actually, I spent a lot of time working on that to get Oakland County to stop with their combined sewer overflows. Keep in mind that almost all the CSOs, combined sewer overflows, are permitted by the state of Michigan. Permitted by the Great Lakes state. Get your mind around that, okay?
Capiche.
Yeah, and, I was also a member for years of the Great Lakes Commission, which is a bilateral commission of the 8 Great Lakes states and the 2 Canadian provinces. And I'm telling you, you go to a state like Wisconsin or, wherever, and they just go, what are you guys doing over there? I mean, nobody allows CSOs the way Michigan does. It's gross. And then, of course, we have the additional problem occasionally with Oakland County, where they have not just a CSO, they have SSOs. I mean, they'll have a sanitary sewer, raw sewage overflow of, several million gallons. And it just goes into the Red Run drain, into the Clinton River. Of course, it's pretty much dissipated by the time it gets to the lake. But seriously, I mean, come on. It's 2025. What are we doing? So we've been working really closely with our state delegation. This really is a bipartisan kind of an issue. And we have about 8 different state reps who have really been on this. A couple of them from Oakland County, believe it or not. And so we've made some progress. We finally got Eagle to a very slight movement forward to make their permit for the George W. Kuhn facility more restrictive. And Oakland County is challenging that. They say that Eagle, our regulators here in the state of Michigan, have no authority over the Clean Water Act. That is what they're saying. I should send you this brief, Bob, you get a big kick out of it. I got Joe Viviano on the thing here. But anyway, so we're going to, we're appealing, or we think we have standing and come in and intervene. And I mean, it's just a constant fight all the time. So we're doing our best. But I'll tell you, I think everything that we're doing here, particularly in St. Clair Shores, is a role model, not just for Macomb County, for the region, for the entire state. And I think, again, generationally, as we look at this, everyone's going to say, well, they did it. Why aren't we doing it? I mean, I'm already hearing that from Oakland County legislators are going, well, to their commissioner, they're doing it. Why aren't we doing it? So you got to change the culture, the conversation.
Thank you. Mr. Kieran?
Thank you. Yeah, actually, just to piggyback a bit off of that, of some of the other things that weren't in this particular presentation is on the first slide, but a lot of the operational things that go on in Chappaqua can happen at other retention basins as well. And it's just not about just increasing storage, but how to better manage it so that you don't have to discharge when you have to, work with the outflows. One of the very cool things that I've seen is Vince and his team at Chappaqua created what they call a digital twin, which is basically their operational system for every pump in every facility, but basically on a separate line, so they can actually gameplay of, hey, what happens if a pump goes down in this certain type of rain event, and we make sure everything works correctly so that we're not backing up basements, and we're protecting the residents. And that's the ingenuity that's going on in this facility that we're pleading with Oakland, like, just tell us you're doing something like that. Anything, give us anything. But we're getting, hey, we're permitted. We're allowed, state says we're good, and also there's low code as well. When we think the state's doing something good, we call them Eagle. When they're doing something bad, we call them Eagle. So if people want to keep track of whether they're good or bad, so right now they're Eagle in that, so, because they're trying to help, so. Secondly, on the separation project of, the kind of the stunner email we got a couple weeks ago that said, oh, hey, your project's fundable. Like, wait, when did we submit for that? And it was like going back into past council presentations of what we submitted, and but really for the Martin retention area, we had all this room to do stuff at Chappaqua. We don't have that at Martin. We're landlocked. The 10 million gallons we can store at Martin is basically what it's going to be. There have been operational improvements there as well, and there's some others that are in the works, but that pretty much what it's going to be. The only way you can kind of begin to really reduce Martin is that you got to get stormwater out of the system, so it's solely focused on sanitary. So going ahead with this separation project on this first few phases, starting with Alexander that we've already had in motion. Then we'll go build the outfall to create Sunnydale, so we got that extra stormwater outfall out to the lake, and we start separating those other streets, is really our next step forward in this journey that we're on, to basically get our CSOs reduced down to as much as we can, and still be that example that we can go point to the communities of the West and say, hey, here's your roadmap, here's how we do it, you can at least do some of it, at least start to do some of it. But that's been our goal for 8 years since Commissioner Miller started. That's one of the things, we gotta clean up our side first, and then go back to them and say, hey, this is how you can do it. And I think we're Oh, no, I think Warren did some separation in
Warren
their
did
area.
great.
Sure
Yeah,
did.
Warren's
Yes.
been doing separation for their area, so they minimize their effect on the Red Run. We're going to be doing ours here to really be an example for those Oakland County communities to get on board
Because
with us.
there's really nothing magical to this. You either have to separate or you have to have additional retention. That's it, right? And as you just mentioned, Warren, I should have said that. They've spent, well, I mean, Warren's not the wealthiest community in the world, right? And they spent $90 million of their own money. They bonded. They have a bigger retention now. They bought an old, abandoned elementary school, dug a big hole. They have retention, and they're doing separation and various things as well. Clinton Township, for many years, was a very bad actor. They will tell you. And they spent $30 million of doing their thing, and they are no longer discharging CSOs or SSOs out into the Clinton River. The city of Mount Clemens did a sewer separation project quite a few years ago. So Macomb County, really, as a whole, we can all be very proud of our county. And again, people really willing to step up and to do the right thing here. And I'm certain that the other counties will follow. I know Vince hears all the time from GLWA and others. They're calling them a lot about what are we doing here? Can they come and take a look at it? So it's out there. It's now in the ether of what's happening.
Yeah, and I would also add, I think one thing we didn't include in here, but also, any construction project, as we all know, it's going to be disruptive. Whether we're doing a water main replacement, sewer rehabilitation, or road replacement, it's always going to be disruptive. So at least for these streets, they're also going to have the roads replaced as well when the storm sewers go in. Some of the roads we did push off. They were lower on our Pacer list, thinking this could come, so that's why they didn't go higher. So they're going to get brand new streets out of this as well. For those residents, are going to be disrupted for these projects, but this is a great step forward, and it's all about cleaning the lake and doing the right thing. Thank you.
Mr. Vitale?
Candace, you mentioned that, be very proud of Macomb County. Very proud of you.
Thank you.
Your office, your leadership is what I routinely point to and I've said this to you before, when people are cynical and jaded about the ability of politicians to get things done and actually accomplish something good. I always say, do you know what our Macomb County Department of Public Works, the challenges, how inept that office was for so many years, and then just absolutely turned around. So,
Thank you.
proud of you.
Nice of you to say that.
Thank you very much.
You're just saying that so I go out and take a good look at your car out there in the front of this building, right?
I've already had my head swelled on that tonight, so don't even have to.
Commissioner Miller, thank you for coming. Vince, thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you all.
Denise,
Good luck.
thank you for all your work. We appreciate it. We'll be
Thanks.
working together, so thank you for everything. I do speak on behalf of St. Clair Shores when I say that. We appreciate it. See you, Norm. Item 4 is audience participation. Do we have anyone who would like to speak on any of the agenda items, which aren't almost none? We don't have anyone. Item 5 is the Benjamin Statler Canal dredge. That has been removed and will come back in a couple of weeks. They've made some changes there, and now it needs to go through the process again. So it'll be here in a couple of council meetings, I believe. Maybe the next one and then 2 after that. Bids, contracts, purchase order, we don't have any, so consent agenda.
Move to approve. Support.
Moved by Mr. Kieran, supported by Mr. Frederick, to approve the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed. Item 8 is updates and follow-ups from prior meetings. Dustin Lentz, City Manager.
Mr. Vitale requested the Pacer ratings for Alexander, Brookdale Streets and recommended that the boulevard be widened during the repaving process in such a way that it would preserve the existing trees. The Pacer rating for Alexander, depending on the block range, is between a 2 and a 4. The lower the rating, the worse the condition of the road. For the majority of Brookdale, the Pacer rating is a 3, which means the street is in poor condition. Mr. Vitale asked for a listing of all the crosswalks with overhead signage and if they have the capability to illuminate. He further inquired how to restore or add illumination and what mechanisms control the crossing ahead light. Per Macomb County Department of Roads, there are 4 school crossings in St. Clair Shores that have an overhead illuminated sign. The overhead signs are all illuminated and are programmed to be on during school times. 2 have advanced beacons that turn on by a programmed schedule. One has an RRFB, which is a rectangular rapid flashing beacons that flash for a time once a push button is activated. And one does not have advanced beacons, nor has an RRFB, but has advanced static signs. Attached is a map showing where these signs are and what type of signs they are. That is in the packet. Mr. Rebello requested a review of the street repair plan to determine if additional streets could be included. The patching program utilizes the entire allocated funding that is annually distributed or annually approved by council. If there were additional fundings available, we could allocate more money to that patching program, but that is something that we discuss during the budget session each year.
Okay.
Mr. Karen noted that the sidewalk at the Veterans parking lot has not been replaced and the curb work remains incomplete. The city engineer has included the work necessary in the Veterans parking lot in the street patching program.
And what about the sidewalk?
I will get with the.
That'll be included? Okay.
Mr. Karen requested information on the IRS garnishment involving one of the city's contractors and asked whether the city is still conducting business with the contractor. The city does still have an active contract with this does have an active contract with this vendor. The city is cooperating with the IRS as they recoup employer taxes. We had two residents, David Masha, a St. Clair Shores resident, suggested the parade consider altering the route to go further north on both Jefferson and Harper. This request was referenced to the parade committee for their consideration. I know the parade committee has had this come up a few different times, and the parade committee would definitely love to, meet with David Masha and then go over the rationale of why they've continually kept it in the south end. And then we had a Rosemarie Ashley, a St. Clair Shores resident, requested that the Planning Commission review its public notification procedures to include mailing notices to the affected residents. The Community Development and the Inspections Department notifies residents in accordance with the requirements of the Michigan Planning and Zoning Enabling Acts. That is it.
Okay, you went pretty quick, but I was going to chime in on those Paiser ratings. Actually, the full part of what I asked is that we might consider, and this would be among council, and now's not the time for the discussion, but basically granting them, or I should say removing an extra point for the fact that, first of all, the parking situation on those roads is terrible. People have to park over the curbs and the grass. And they also don't even have when there's potholes on my street, I can drive around them. They don't have that option. They have to hit everything that's bad because it's so narrow. So that was the full context of that. Okay. And to the gentleman that wants to parade on the north end, I agree with you. And I'd love to hear that rationale again myself.
I like it where it's at, but okay. 9 is comments by individual council members. Ms. Burgess.
Thank you. It went so fast, I'm not even prepared. I did want to just make a mention of a lot of feedback on the redoing of the voting stations. I've gotten numerous emails, phone calls, and people and just when I'm in public saying that we didn't do a very good job with that. People were not knowing where they were going and stuff like that. I just wondered if we are sending out any new voter registration cards to everybody.
Abby?
We already did.
Yeah.
You already did before?
Yes.
Yes, we sent them out earlier this year when the changes were made.
Because I had people came in with them and showed me their card, and it wasn't the proper polling
A
station.
lot of times people will get one and put it in their wallet, and we had to train our election workers, even if they show you a card, they might still be holding on to the old one. Everyone got a new one in the mail. Yes.
All right, and,
They don't want to believe you when they get it.
Yeah.
I had this too. You tell them that, and then I'm just being honest. No, I never got one.
yeah. It wasn't just one or two.
You're right.
It was a few people, a lot of people, I should say, that, I went and worked a few of the polls, just walking
Sure.
around the polls and talking with people, and had some very, very upset residents. But their election went good, and everything turned out good, and And let's see, that's about all I have for today. So thank Candace Miller, though. That was a wonderful explanation, and can't wait to see the good things that are coming down.
Thank you. Mr. Ribello.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to first congratulate the Lakeview Huskies on an incredible football year. I mean, they made it into the playoffs. What was it, 2 games deep they made it? So
quarterfinals, one more win, and then I was at the game on Friday. It was it was a tough game.
Yeah, so I couldn't believe that I would see something like that at coming to St. Clair Shores. It's been a long time since we had a good team like that. So that went deep. I mean, I know we had some playoff teams. This was a special team.
For sure.
So congratulations to the Huskies. One little thing I wanted to say about the drains with the leaves. Don't clog the drains. Get your leaves out of the way. Get the leaves out of the drains. So sweep them clean of the drains. I wanted to again thank the voters of St. Clair Shores for returning myself here back to the city council. I'm sure glad that race is over. That's sort of a grueling type of thing to me. So thank you for the residents that returned me to office. Appreciate your confidence that you have in me. And I think I was talking to the mayor a little bit about this on election day, about it's crazy that people come and, they actually check your name off of something. So it's sort of a cool experience, and I'm proud. Too bad my mom passed away a few months ago, but I'd like to have seen her here today. But it's a good feeling. So I want to again thank the city of St. Clair Shores for returning me back here and showing confidence that they had. I want to make an announcement. I'm looking for with the snow brigade. Okay, looking for volunteers. They could be of any age. They get community service points too. So if you're out there, I have a little list that I keep. I try to keep the homes close to where you live. I need volunteers to shovel snow. We got a lot of them already, but got to keep going. We got a letter sent to the homes here, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago about lead. Is there, Denise, if you could come up real quick? I don't know if you can make any comment.
I think that's more Mr. Babcock. We'll have to get Babcock. He's not here. He's on vacation.
Okay, we'll do it the next time.
That would be great.
There was just people about that. Okay.
We'll do that. We'll do it under updates and follow-ups. Is that good, Councilman?
Wonderful.
Thank you.
And last thing I wanted to talk about was I sent an email maybe a week or two ago about what's coming up for bid out here in St. Clair Shores. So we got like a little list. There's going to be sidewalks coming up, right? And there's going to be streets coming up. The contracts have expired on our contractors. Mm-hmm. So is that what we're doing? We're expecting to go out to bid for those?
I think that's the plan, yes.
Okay, so you've heard me probably talk, not just you, I'm speaking in general, about how do we get more bids to come in? And I would like to come up with maybe some alternative ways to get more people to know about these type of projects. I know we use our system already, but I think we're all fans. If we're going to go out to bid, we like a lot of bids. So I know if we keep doing the same thing, that we'll just keep getting the same results. So I'm after an alternative way to let contractors know that we're going out to bid on this. So, and again, thank you, City of St. Clair Shores. I appreciate you returning me back to office. I'll do my best. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. I would just, I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it anyways because a little Lakeview, you brought up Lakeview.
I did.
Vincenzo Pizzio is the first D1 out of Lakeview. D1, Toledo. So he's the first one who was D1 recruit out of Lakeview for Lakeview High School football. So that was not only, as you talk about winning the regionals, they had the first D1 recruit. So I think that's exciting. Offensive lineman, yeah, he's huge. I think he's about 6'7", 10 pounds.
He is huge.
But that was good, so I just wanted to add that. Ms. Rusi.
Thank you. The St. Clair Shores Community Chorus has asked me to announce this. They're looking for your help. Exciting news. We're thrilled to announce that the St. Clair Shores Community Chorus has been selected as a finalist in the 2025 Thanksgiving campaign with First State Bank. Your vote can help us win much-needed funds to support our scholarship fund, which helps make music education and participation accessible to more members of our community. They give scholarships out to students who are performers. If you go to their Facebook page, St. Clair Shores Community Chorus, they have a link. If you click on the link, you can cast your vote for them under the Arts, Education, Culture category. Voting ends November 21st, so don't wait. So please help the St. Clair Shores Community Chorus secure more money to utilize for scholarships for students by participating. It's totally free and it's really easy. In the Thanksgiving campaign for State Bank, you can find the link on the St. Clair Shores Community Chorus Facebook page. Voting ends November 21st, so don't wait. Thank you for supporting local music and helping us keep the arts alive in our community. So please support the community chorus in the Thanksgiving campaign. I want to thank Parks and Rec and the Activities Committee and all the vendors and participants for the Halloween Fun Fest. It was a really great Sunday. The wristband worked so much better, keeping the lines shorter and keeping the flow a lot more consistent. And it was a very well-run and smooth event, and it's not easy to put on. It requires a lot of people to sign up to volunteer to participate, and just a lot of work. So thank you to everyone, all the businesses and local organizations who came out to be candy vendors and donated your time and money and everything to help make some local kids' Halloween season a little bit more festive. And thanks to Parks and Rec and the Activities Committee, it's like probably, I don't want to say my favorite but one of my favorites, city events every year. So it's always really fun to participate. John and I had
330.
330 inflatables.
You counted.
My sister counted. Inflatables out there, and every year we try to, and I know my family's watching, they'll hate hearing this, but bigger and better every year. So we did pretty good this year, and we look forward to coming back next year with more. And it's always fun to watch the kids enjoy those things. It's not so much fun setting them up or taking them down, but during the event's a lot of fun. Denise, I had emailed with you about a business. You had confirmed they were operating without a COO or a business license or anything. I'll follow up with you on that. I got another email from a resident with some concerns just right before the meeting and about what the follow-up's going to be on that. And finally, I think Dave wants me to announce this too.
You mentioned though.
Okay, the St. Clair Shores Community Chorus presents a very, very Merry Christmas, December 7th, 2025, 3 p.m. at the Lakeshore High School Auditorium. Tickets pre-sale $20, outdoor $22. You'll want to buy them early though, they always sell out. We're coming very close to it. Children 4 to 12, $10, 3 and under free. And again, this is our annual holiday concert. It's always a really, really very, very, really, really Merry Christmas event, and it's a great way to kick off the Christmas season. Okay, so just want to join Dave in thanking the residents for returning me to council. It's a representational role, and it's a huge honor to be selected again to continue working and serving the residents, and I look forward to doing so this term again with integrity, honor, respect, hard work, diligence, and independence. So thank you for the overwhelming show of support. It's appreciated, and I will continue to work really hard for you to earn that, continue earning that. So thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Karen.
Thank you. So first, go back to the Halloween event. I think for Councilwoman Rusi's family and my friends that all helped, even though they get bigger, we're also more efficient
Yes.
at getting them up and taking them
Every
down.
year you
So
learn.
we're trying to limit how much time it actually takes. That's basically where our energy level runs out of putting all those ones up. But yeah, it was a great event, and I tell Councilwoman Rusi that I have the better vantage point because I'm earlier on the walk. So I see more of the kids' first reaction when they start to enter the whole tunnel now, which literally is a tunnel of inflatables they walk through. So yeah, it was a great event, and kids just had like great weather for that day, and just a wonderful Halloween event that we had back in October there. Next, again, I also echo the thanks to the residents for re-electing myself, and also congratulations to Councilwoman Rusi and Councilman Rebello on their election as well. It is very heartfelt to have the support of the community when you put your name out there, and just very appreciative of another 4 years of serving on city council. And we'll bring up a bit of history, and Abby and Amy helped me out with this. The Councilwoman Rusi's results were quite impressive, because I didn't recall if anyone ever got over 10,000 votes for a city council position in the past. Turns out there were 4 others, and there was one person that got more than what you did, and that was Joe Crutel one year. But you were second overall. But the other names behind that are Ted Wabi, Bob Heisen, and Art Armstrong. So Joe Crutel, yourself, Ted Wabi, Bob Heisen, Art Armstrong, only people that ever go above 10,000 votes in a city council election. So congratulations on that. It's very impressive.
Wonderful group to be with. Thank you.
And so on to city business here. So a couple of updates from Historical Commission. First, I wanted to welcome a new employee. Abigail Walsh is now our museum curator for the Selinsky Green Farmhouse Museum. She started a couple of months ago. And so this has always been a part-time position. Her full-time job is working at the Eleanor and Edsel Ford House. So that's a great combination for us to have to help with our museum here behind the library. So greatly appreciated she decided to come on board. And she's currently working on the type of programming that she wants to do, be a little different, because Kelly, she got promoted at the Harper Woods, the previous curator got promoted at the Harper Woods Library, so she's now the Harper Woods Library Director. So she's doing very well. But there'll be some different aspects of history that Abby is going to want to get into. So she's working on what that program is going forward. But I think she's a great addition to the team, and really looking forward to all the ideas she's going to have. Also, in terms of the museum, Chuck Hall, he sent us an email a couple weeks ago about potential grant opportunities as America celebrates 250 years. There are some grant opportunities through the state to preserve historical locations. So Stephanie, our library director, is working on putting in a grant application. We think we can get up to about $50,000 for additional repairs to the farmhouse. We need to fix the porch. We need to do a new exterior painting on the entire farmhouse on the outside to protect it. So there is a 30% match requirement, but we do have funds budgeted for repairs on the farmhouse already, so that can be used for the match. So hopefully we'll know that in the spring to fund those projects for the farmhouse. And looking at the first round of awards, there were several that were very similar, of small museums in communities, very focused on local history, that were getting these $50,000 grants. So hopefully we'll be successful on that. Beautification is going to start putting our wreaths out at all the city signs starting after November 24th.
Nice.
And Parks and Rec is working on making sure those sites are ready. And for that, so I appreciate their help. We were communicating early today. A little bit on Jefferson. We talked offline regarding the intersection 9 Mile Jefferson. Now that that's open, a couple things need to get fixed. Something with the new traffic pattern with the next segment. Maybe look at the exit of Blossom Heath. As I drove out of there on Saturday doing some running around, normally for big events, we shut down the left lane. We don't want people turning left. Since we're only down to 2 lanes on Jefferson, to make it safe, we may want to just have that permanent as a right turn only out of Blossom Heath while we're in that phase of construction. So staff could just evaluate and what their thoughts are. That's kind of what I'm seeing, but I'm just afraid of only 2 lanes of traffic and people waiting to try to turn left, blocking views of people turning right. We're going to get big backups, especially once we get tunnels of light started.
Right, I was
And
yeah, I was
that, so
thinking about
that-
when you were saying that tunnel lights, yes.
Yeah, so kind of do it, and that's easy. We control that. We don't have to get approval from anybody else, but that'd be a city call to make, to look at that. I'll add my congratulations to Lakeview Varsity football team on district champs and going that far in the playoffs, and also to the girls varsity volleyball team. Also were district champs and also made it to their regionals. Unfortunately, also lost to Birmingham Groves in the regional championship. So, but I think for both programs, that's the first time they've been district champs for both volleyball and for football. And so I don't know, maybe we want to talk to Sean, their director of athletics, if they want proclamations for those achievements for both of those teams from Lakeview. So to whether being come to a council or having the proclamation taken to one of their school assemblies or something like that in that. So maybe something we ought to be considering. And actually, and let's see, the day after the election, it was good to have Judge Fred Acongeli here to do the swearing in because I had the honor of sitting in on his treatment court graduation ceremony. He had 5 individuals that graduated out of the program that the court runs to help people with addiction, to basically help get their life together, get things sorted out. And it's a very intense program, requires a lot of interaction with not only court staff, legal staff, defense attorneys and that. It's probably like 18 months to 2 years to go through all the steps there. So for those 5 people, congratulations to them to reaching that point. I think it's a big accomplishment for them to help with the issues that they were dealing with. And I think it's great. I think it's 10 years that our court's been doing this, and a lot more courts around the state are starting to do the same type of program, that we have something within the city that helps people. And I think one of the assistant prosecutors, Danielle, she had mentioned about how it's good for her that she's working on a program that is more about helping people rather than just punishing people. And that was what she found so rewarding about being part of the treatment court. We used to call it the drug court, and now calling it the treatment court. And that, so that was very great to see, and I think it's an honor that our city does that for the people that are affected. And last, I would just say, as we start the holiday season, there's many opportunities to go out and volunteer, help other people, help other organizations. You know, whether we got 2 great Kiwanis groups, we got Optimist Club group, other service organizations within the city, the Lions Club. Maybe everyone start reaching out, starting to get involved in some of these groups. We have some great organizations in the city, and this is a great time to help volunteer and really get to know those groups, what they're about, and help people in need. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Frederick.
Thanks, Mayor. So, yeah, I don't know if you saw me there, but I was at the graduation as well. And it is a great thing that we're doing in our city for with the court, with the treatment program. So they even mentioned that other people are coming in to take a look at it, see how they can implement it. So we're excited that once again St. Clair Shores right up in the forefront of doing the right thing and helping people. So congrats to Mr. Fred Acongeli for a job well done, and his staff. I wanted to congratulate our newly re-elected Dave, Candace, John. Congratulations. And I also wanted to say congrats really to everybody else that was on the ballot, because when you put your name out there, you hang it out, and sometimes you make it, sometimes you don't. But we appreciate the fact that there were 3 other people that wanted to try and get on council. I guess we got a good thing going here. Everybody wants to be part of it, right? Congrats to Lakeview football. I know my grandson is now coming up through that program. He played on the freshman team this year. And they were all excited about the district champs, but I was actually up hunting while they were playing, so I didn't get to go to the game, but I was getting play-by-play. Thanks, everybody who were sending me play-by-plays of what was going on. And it looked good at first, and then I was not happy. So, but anyway, congrats to Lakeview football. And thanks, everybody, for the Mayor Pro Tem status up here. Let me try this out. Yeah, it does work, boy. Look at that.
Works, Dave.
Yeah. Dave, did you crack this? Oh, my God. And I also wanted to thank Candace Miller for coming by tonight. I mean, what she's done is huge, and it's just a big turnaround. And, you know, like Chris was saying, you know, when people, you know, say things about, you know, trying to work together and get things done, she's a perfect example of that. And I think another perfect example is this council, right? We get a lot of stuff done. I also wanted to mention that, you know, even though the library's closed, hey, we're still working over there, right? So there's an adult take and make craft kits. The library is offering ornament kits to go for adults. Registration opens December 1st, and kits may be picked up via curbside service from December 15th through the 19th. December Spice Club. The library started a Spice Club during renovation, and this month's Spice Club features allspice with recipes for sausages and muffins. No registration is required. Simply stop by curbside from December 8th through the 13th to pick up a packet. And then the holiday closures, library still will be closed on Wednesday, November 26th, 5 p.m. for the Thanksgiving holiday, and reopen on Monday, December 1st at 9 a.m., and that's for stuff going on outside. And I think that's it.
All right, thank you. Mr. Vitale.
I will also congratulate all my colleagues for returning to the dais. I think that continuity here that we have in St. Clair Shores says a lot, and I do think we all, you know, Ron said perfect, maybe not perfect, but pretty good. So, pretty darn good.
Pretty darn good.
One thing I'll mention is, looks like there's activity at the Old Halls nursery site. Any idea on timeline when the rest of that is going to be down?
Did they pull the permit yet?
Yes.
Yeah, so.
They have a permit, they're waiting on their 10-day notice to the state.
So it might be after Thanksgiving when it goes.
Likely it will be.
Okay, and,
It's boarded now.
Yep.
and thank you for getting, I think we all noticed that, so thank you for getting that taken care of, especially know it's another 10 days, so. One other comment I would make too is that very glad to hear about the stormwater separation. The areas of New Street are actually the neighborhood that I trick-or-treated with my kids. And I'm always struck, and I think it's one of the nicest neighborhoods in the city, Thiel-built homes. And one of the things that really looks nice in it are the trees. The tree canopy there is beautiful. So I hope that when we go through there, we can try to preserve as much of that as possible.
Agreed.
So, and that was all I had.
Thank you. City manager report?
No report.
Audience participation? We don't have anyone, so the mayor's comment, and I will be brief. I will just say, enjoy your family. Happy Thanksgiving. Again, enjoy your family. It's always a great time of the year, so we'll see you in December. So request to meet in closed session as permitted by state statute MCLA 15.268, section 8C.
Move to go into closed session.
Moved by Councilman Karen, supported by Councilwoman Rusi. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Karen?
Aye.
Councilmember Rusi?
Aye.
Councilmember Burgess?
Aye.
Councilmember Frederick?
Aye.
Councilmember Rubello?
Aye.
Councilmember Vitale?
Aye.
Mayor Walby?
Aye. Good night.